Here is a little story about one of Meher Archive Collective's recent acquisitions, Meher Baba's 7-colored flag from Meherabad. This flag was given to us by Hettie Johnson in 2022 and is part of the Hettie Johnson and Nick Hawthorne-Johnson collection at Meher Archive Collective, or MAC. We will also show you a peek in the world of conservation with Elaine Cox, who has archived the flag at her home. She shows us her meticulous care in cleaning and storing. Please take a moment now to like, share, and subscribe. This helps MAC to move its mission forward. MAC's mission is to collect, preserve, and share Meher Baba's divine legacy of materials, artifacts, and words with integrity, love, and transparency for the benefit of humanity. To find out more about MAC, please go to meherarchive.org or email info@meherarchive.org. Back to the story of Baba's flag. This very flag flew from the tower flagpole on top of the study hall on Meherabad Hill near Ahmednagar in Maharashtra state, India, in the 1990s. An American young man named Gabe Mednick, pictured here to the right of Mohammed the Must, was living and working at Meherabad at the time, and he was asked to remove this old, tattered flag from the flagpole and replace it with a new one. He took it down and kept it aside. Nick Hawthorne-Johnson was also in Meherabad at the same time, and it so happened that through Nick, Gabe asked if Nick's mother could send him some new guitar strings from America because Gabe couldn't get the ones he liked in India. Hettie, Nick's mother, sent the guitar strings, and as a thank you, Gabe gave her this well-worn flag. This bit of history from Lord Meher, Volume 2, explains how the flag came about. It was proposed that a flag be flown near the Jubti, and on April 23, 1924, a debate ensued about it. The Hindus said the color of the flag should be red, but Ramju objected, saying that red reflected only Vedanta, and that green was better. Then the Hindus took objection, arguing that green was typically a Mohammedan color. The Parsis and Iranis disapproved of both colors, and to bring about accord, Baba proposed the flag should be of 7 colors. Naval prepared a flag accordingly, and after it was sewn, it was hoisted near the master's jyoti in the evening. As the flag stirred, Baba remarked, "Do you know why I suggested a 7-colored flag? The 7 colors represent the 7 planes of consciousness." Meher Baba then specified the positioning of 2 colors. Red should be at the bottom of the flag and sky blue at the top. Arrangement of the other 5 colors is your decision. Then he later added, besides representing the 7 planes of consciousness, these colors also represent sanskaras, impressions. The colors in the flag signifies man's rise from the grossest of impressions of lust and anger, symbolized by red, to the culmination in the highest state of spirituality and oneness with God, symbolized by sky blue. Now we turn to conserving MAC's flag. Elaine Cox is MAC's Conservator and Archive Specialist. She has had experience of archiving Baba's effects, working closely in India with Dot Lesnick, who was principal in establishing the Meher Baba Trust archives at Meherabad. Elaine has also been advised by Baba's Mandali, Mera, Mani, and Meru on the care and storage of Baba's precious things. Over a period of 20 years, Elaine has had the opportunity to work at the Trust Archives on a wide variety of projects. Here we are in Elaine's home, where she is cleaning and conserving this flag. She has laid the flag flat on a clean table in order to help ease the creases from having been folded for many years. By the time we recorded this video, she had already cleaned most of the flag. It was decided not to wash the flag in water, as she found upon testing it that some of the colors would bleed. She meticulously vacuumed the flag with an archivally washed muslin cloth attached to the vacuum's nozzle. She has, in this way, removed a lot of the dirt and dust. As you all know, the flag flew in Upper Meherabad, and it was affected by the passing of birds. Most of the bird stains have been already removed, and Elaine has saved this last one for the filming of the video. She's using a mild soap mixed with reverse osmosis water to soften and lift the physical parts of the stains and reduce the acidity of them. With a small fine brush, here a soft, dedicated toothbrush, she is very carefully easing out the dirt and acid. This is followed by pressing clean, reverse osmosis water into the spot and removing it immediately with a dry cloth to stop the spreading of the damp spot.
The fiber, it's not very fine, it's a very sturdy weave. And it's probably 100% cotton in the way that it feels and behaves, but it might have some blend. You have the problem. You see that pink stain there? That came from when I treated a spot on the blue. Famous for bleeding, being not secure. But there is some red in this, which, you don't think that that's the case, but it was. I worked on some of Baba's jackets, but those had been washed by the mandali. They had been, they didn't have things like bird droppings on them. This is real serious acidity.
What Elaine is doing now is taking out as much water as she can so we don't have a ring around the spot cleaning, when it dries. So take out all the water as much as possible.
All that remains of that stain at this point. And
that's amazing.
We are going to just let it sit with air below it and air above it on this nice ceramic dish and let it dry.
So this is a carpet to cover
Covered with plastic because that paper is, God knows it's got glues in it, it's a mush, and they mold it in however they make that. It's paper pulp with glues, and God knows what they put in it, and set it into the tube. So I lined that with clear plastic, and then so that the fabric will not touch the tube itself.
I see. Okay.
That fabric, and that is muslin. And then I sat and stitched that on.
Wow.
By hand, and tied up the ends. There's two ends like a candy bar, and stuffed them into the hole.
Elaine's stitching is meticulous and perfect. The clean muslin on the cylinder will protect the flag's fabric. Elaine smooths the flag with her hands before the flag is rolled onto the prepared cylinder for storage. Elaine, how would you envision displaying this in the future?
If you were going to display it, you would have to do a little bit of needlework to you can't really repair this flag, but you can stitch them down so that those flaps don't. If you want to display it.
Okay,
I
so the
wouldn't
frayed
hang it
edges.
on a wall.
You wouldn't, okay.
No. Because the other end is too frayed. I was thinking about it. It might be laid out on a board, like a really big piece of plywood, huge piece of plywood that's painted and then covered with fabric. And the fabric would help hold it in place anyway. And tilted. So people could see it better. But the fabric would hold this in place at the top. And I think you could probably maybe take a few little light stitches to be removed when you don't display it. But because it's so damaged, I don't, that, you know, we just have to think about that at the time. But no tape, no such thing as tape is ever coming near it, so that can't happen. Okay.
As you can see, conservation is very detailed, conscientious, and patient work. Thanks for joining us today in this particular Baba Flag's journey to Mac. Mac is grateful for our community here, locally, and abroad. Jai Baba.